I'm good. How's things? How's the Mosam? How's everything? Because it's baking hot in London.
Oh, it's amazing here. The rains have just kicked in full swing. And I mean, I know it's orange alert and also it's tough for people to travel. But the
Yeah.
people who are stuck at home and are doing Zoom call interviews are having a blast. That's me because I'm indoor and I'm loving the rain and the mossa and this nice coffee. It's just the correct vibe.
No, absolutely. I mean, London has been boiling at the moment. So, but hey,
Oh.
it feels like we're in India. But hey, it's great. The good thing is we can stay indoors and watch your movie, which is
Yes,
releasing soon.
yes.
So
I hope people do stay home and stay safe and watch the film.
I know, but एक woman या भारी सबके लिए so woman power,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, fully, totally.
How was, I mean, firstly, obviously, we're looking forward to seeing this movie on Z5 now, but
Hmm.
it's a topic that's quite a bit of a taboo, in Asian communities. Even
Yeah.
here in Asian communities, people don't want to talk about stuff like that. How did you decide that you want to do something like this?
Honestly, Ruby, I didn't really think about it. I didn't overthink it. I didn't have any doubts or reservations. I don't think it struck me as a film where I needed to contemplate or where I needed to kind of think twice on. I don't know why.
Hmm.
I don't know how to explain that feeling. I think somewhere my worldview of life, of people, of
Yeah.
stories, of cinema, of experiences has been of a certain um it's not judgmental. I don't have I can't judge the characters and films and stories that I read. And maybe because I'm that open about it, am I able to see the film and the story for what it's actually saying rather than view it from the world's point of view or societal point of view.
Yeah.
And maybe that is what makes it easy for me to say yes to films which people think a lot about. I guess it was for me.
Yeah.
It was very natural. Yes.
And I saw the trailer, and there's been a lot of praise as well for your acting.
Yeah.
And though what I really really liked was that serious scene in the trailer that you've got the sari on, the green sari on,
Yeah.
and आप seriously आप कह रही हैं अपने ससुर से कि मैं गलत क्या कर रही हूँ, मुझे बताइए तब मैं मानूं, something like along those
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just like, wow, this girl can do such a serious scene as well, so well. It was, how was your experience doing the whole thing?
When this film was written and when we knew what the film was going to be and where it's going to go, this was a very this was a question I think a lot of people had in their minds, that this is when a girl is standing up and saying this, you need somebody who's a great orator or a thinker, or somebody who's got the right emotion or the right inspiration behind what she's saying for that to connect to the people. Even though as an actor, I knew that I had to hit all those notes, right? Where it's not just dialogues that I'm saying, it's not just a speech that I'm giving. It's something I truly believe in. It's something that moves me. It's something that kind of affects me, and I'm able to drive that affection to the listeners, where they feel
Mm.
like she's making sense. At the same time, not make it very preachy.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was a very thin line. And I'm glad people are seeing that, and I'm glad you've seen that, and you said that
Yeah.
that's a good job. But
No. Yeah.
but we did put in a lot of work in making sure that that comes across nicely, because a girl next door, a sweet romantic affair with the boy, or this girl who's a little taste adaka and she has these progressive views, are easy to do. It's when you have that mantle of something that serious on your shoulders and you're trying to tell the world about it, or at least your whole shehar about it, is not easy to do. It's not easy to be that responsible, for something that sensitive. So I'm glad
Yeah.
we did it well.
No, you did. And that was actually my next question, because responsibility on your shoulders, right? To portray that in a way that won't be so preachy, and yet pass the message on in such a way that it really touches the heart, because it's hard to do. It's easy for someone to say, yeah, message hai kar do, right? But actually to
Right.
do it's tough, right? For someone to do that, to actually pass it on in the right way.
It is tough. And also cinema is changing, Ruby. There was a time where a girl actor or a male actor could stand and say those emotional dialogues, and people would lap it up. But that time is slightly shifted. We've become
Yeah.
slightly more conversational in our dialogues. We've become more conversational in our scenes. They're not, I mean, of course there are films which have that level of heroism, but these ground level rooted real stories with these real issues which are taboos and practices, and things that are not so widely accepted by families, and are not spoken about, these have to be said as normally as possible. You make it
Mhm.
slightly heroic and you make it slightly unbelievable, people will just say reject.
Yeah.
We don't connect to it. So it was the need of the hour. We had Raj Chandelier, who was, I think, the greatest writer when it comes to a subject and a topic like this, because he knows exactly how to drive the message through,
Yeah.
without making it too preachy and still keeping it entertaining. So, I mean, if honestly, if it wasn't him, I would have probably not done the film, even though I like the idea.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be convinced that it'll be done this sensitively and this correctly. So, I mean,
Yeah.
my yes was for Raj Chandelier mainly, rather than
Wow.
anybody
That's
else. So,
out because he is a great writer. But do you think films like Vicky Dona and Padman have helped a topic like this to come out as well? People can, people are more free to make a movie that's a taboo.
of course, not just Padman and Vicky Donor. You've had a Shubh Mangal Savdan, you've had a Bala, you've had a Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdan. You've had a bunch of films which nobody wanted to talk about before this. No, you wanted to even accept it. You have a gay love story film in the center of Indian cinema, bang, right there by one of the leading actors, and it's done so beautifully.
Yeah.
You have a subject of a balding man. I never thought a hero would come on screen bald. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
who ever thought of that? It just doesn't happen. So they're I think we're in a great space and time, and I'm very happy that not just makers who are taking the risks of making these things, but the audiences are giving it that love and feedback and support back, which is why we have the confidence in venturing into those subject stories even more.
I think also, with generations changing, people want to freely talk about things like that, which were, which maybe our old generation, didn't want to talk about or find it embarrassing. But now the younger generation are very happy to openly say something. And it
Right.
shouldn't feel bad, even if it's something like IVF or something like that.
IVF
It's,
or a transgender love story, be that.
yeah,
I was blown away by the idea that that's what we are doing. I mean, I'm so proud that that film is a part of our Indian cinema. It's amazing.
exactly. Yeah, I know. And I think, because of the younger generation, it really does help to people to understand it more as well. But do you find in your experience, like you're promoting the movie, for example, now, are
Right.
you do you get any negativity from maybe a generation that, "Ki kya kar rahi ho?" Do you get that?
Honestly, throughout this promotion, I have not got that at all.
Oh, great.
We've gone about 5-6 cities. We've gone to theaters, malls. We've gone to universities, where I've given interviews to age groups from here to here.
Okay.
And I was really expecting somebody to say, okay, how did you not like feel any sharam, or you didn't like feel awkward, or what is this teaching, and how have you been brought up, and all of that could have happened.
Yeah.
But none of that happened, Ruby. None of that happened. I
Wow.
think
Wow.
the adults, the slightly older generation, as well as the young generations, have given us such great feedback and such great questions that I remember answering a question of a young 27, 28, I guess. He got up and he said, I really want to give my kids, or I wish I had got the sex education, but our parents are really stringent and really like close minded. So how exactly could I have done anything, or been equipped with the information and the normalcy with it, with which
Yeah.
now you guys are making this film? So I kind of gave him an answer which I think is the most relevant answer I could have given, some, because I also have probably the same problem, right?
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, your parents come from a generation which is so ingrained in their thoughts and mind, in beliefs, that they will not change. But you are thinking differently, which in itself is a win for us right
Yeah.
now. So forget
Yeah.
about the people who will not change. It's not their fault. I can't blame them. I'm not going to sit here and call the generation before me backward or regressive, because
No.
that's what they grew up in and that's what they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, I told that guy, I said, you should be thankful that you are here today with a different thought. And now you will give your kids a better future and a better
Yeah.
tomorrow, where these conversations you will normalize for your kids, which no one did for you. So take onus of that. Take action in that. Don't sit and tell me क्या करूं, ये हुआ नहीं past में. Doesn't matter. अभी
Yeah.
आप कर सकते हो ना future में, तो आप कर लो.
Yeah.
You know, the loss will be if his kids after whatever years sit and say the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's so
So-
true, because we can talk about it now, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's really good, example there to give, because if we, if the younger one don't change and still are thinking, whatever they're thinking, are still
Yeah.
holding a taboo, then
Correct,
how is it
correct.
going to change? How is it going to change? It's not going to change,
Yeah.
right? That's great.
It's we're stuck in a loop. It's not going to change
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Do you think that films like this really do impact people?
Yeah, 100%. I think the power of cinema, we know what it has. From time to time, we've seen fashion trends or haircuts or clothes being copied from film actresses and film heroes.
True.
So if that can have a large impact, and brands understand this, why do films have brands? Why do brands invest in getting themselves put in films? Because they know the power of the cinema. They know that people are going to become consumers right after this film. So when people understand that, why are we only using cinema and the power of it to sell things? Why are we materializing it? Why aren't we selling ideas and thoughts and being progressive and changing society, or giving it a different kind of thought for people to, flourish and blossom into? Like, I'm not telling you what to say. I'm telling you why not. I'm just giving you an ideation change, that okay, we've lived in a world where they said this is what we will think and do, but why can't we think differently? Why can't we do differently? Very simple question. I'm an actress. I live in a house. I've come from a Bori Muslim family. Every girl in the Bori Muslim side, like in terms of traditions, gets married way younger than the age I'm at. But I chose not to get married. And why is that not okay? Why can't I be a successful woman and not be married?
Yeah.
Why can't my dream be of not a happily married family and kids and run a household? Why can't my dream be, I want to be by myself, I want to have my career, I want to have my house, I want to have my own entrepreneurship? Why can't that be a possibility?
Yeah.
So,
It's so true. I mean, these the cultural thing, sometimes we fall into this culture thing that we have to stick to this, but
Correct.
now we want to come out of it, right? So, which is true.
Right.
Finally, I ask you, in UK, there, as you know, there's so many South Asians in the UK, and we love movies that come from India. So
The heartland,
one last message for Lyca Radio. We have two big, massive stations here in London, Lyca Radio and Lyca Gold. Last message to our listeners. What would you like to tell them about your movie, Janhit?
Definitely want to tell them that it's one of those topics and films you didn't think would come out of India. You didn't think India would ever be comfortable and would ever rise to the occasion of talking about this, let alone make a whole film on it. We just did. And it's an outright family entertainer. So that's another USP, that you're not going to feel awkward sitting and watching it with your grandparents or your kids, or your brothers or sisters, because it's a clean family entertainer.
Wow.
And it's now available at your hall or bedroom or your iPad. It's right there.
Yeah.
So streaming from the 15th of July on Z5 Global. So I suggest you definitely take your time out and catch it.
Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank
and
you,
wish
Ruby.
you all the success with everything that you do in the future as well. Hopefully we'll
Thank
talk
you.
again for the next. But good luck with Z5 and good luck with your movie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. Bye.